Time to elevate your mind with SJC. Let's take a journey to new possibilities. Open up your mind to things you cannot see. It's time to elevate your mind. It's time to elevate your mind with SJC.
Welcome to Elevate by SJC. I'm your host, Mr. SJC with the clean hat, baby.
I'm your lovely co-host, Toni.
Y'all, she a little nervous because I finally let her in the studio. You know, we got a new setup. It's pretty dope.
It looks nice. We still got a little bit of
but
it looks nice. I mean,
I can't see, but we got Kobe and Gigi up there. We got Mr. Dothan High graduate, A&M back.
Circa 1990.
Whew, class of 2004.
Whatever.
Tony, what's up? We finally got this thing running off the board, so we got to stay steady with it now. People enjoy our podcast, so we gotta keep at it. You know, people love coming on here. What you been up to though?
Working.
Kind of work
trying to hold down the fort of everybody's.
Did something happen to you?
No.
Something didn't happen to you during the holidays?
No, we already said that. Did we not say that?
Girl, we ain't recorded in so long.
My bad.
Did something happen to you though? Girl, I swear I cut this podcast off right now.
I got asked to be. Did you mute me?
No, I ain't mute you. What was you?
I had to say. I heard the little pause. Anyway, you made the best decision in your life and asked me to marry you.
So y'all, we got engaged. Shout out to Toni.
Shout out to Toni
for saying, yeah, show your little ring, your little thing.
They can see it.
She got engaged to Mr. SJC. But no, what's been really going on though? What you been doing since last time we filmed? Other than working. Give me some details. Like what you working on?
Rebranding Hawt Wicks and Scents. So we're working on that, and have a little bloggy thing happening that we're gonna be releasing. And other than that, put up with you, basically.
Yeah.
Anyway, letting Kirsten
I'm the best thing
us.
ever. The best thing ever. But look, we got a new president. You know, hopefully stimulus check come. But no, that's good. Me just really like rebranding, elevate. You see, we got new setup. You know, we need to get in the same room so we can actually have that face-to-face interaction. I think it's dope though.
Mm-hmm. People can see how we really crazy looks like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Only time we
anyway, coming up.
But no, anyway, you know, that's good. But we gotta act right, you know. I got my Bible with me because I see this Samuel James R. Crawford. But look, we got a special guest that's gonna kick us off for the 2021. I'm gonna call him my pastor. Lord knows I need to go to church. He's a great photographer. I'm gonna call him our pastor, not my pastor. Because
I was about to say,
now,
listen. I was gonna get at you after this.
But look, shout out to my mom, my dad. Shout out to Keith James with the what is it, a fedora? What do you call this?
Yeah, I need to know.
Yeah. Appreciate it. But look, the SJC store is coming. It's opening up, I think, February 1st. You know, Elevate hoodie right here. Tony's Elevate definition hoodie. But hopefully you guys come visit us. But anyway, it's not about us right now. It's about Mr. What am I call him?
I don't know, but you've been long-winded, just like.
Anyway, Mr. Keith Shoulders, welcome to the show, Mr. Keith. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
What's up, Pastor? Hold on. Let me make sure we got the Bible, no alcohol. Now, got the pastor up here. What's up, Mr. Shoulders? What's up, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to be on the show. It's an honor to be on the show. Thank you for having me on Elevate by SJC.
Man, we appreciate you coming up. Coming on here. We know everybody has a busy schedule. You're a blessing. Being in our lives, being able to. Well, you know what? This is your show. I'm gonna let you tell everything that you've done for us. But we do appreciate you, honestly, being a part of our lives. I feel like this is a lifelong partnership, and everything, man. I don't know what to say. Just I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. We're friends, so that's what friends do. We look out for each other, and I look forward to the future.
Y'all's
Amen.
bromance is making me have heartstrings right now.
Take me to the wall. No, just playing. But no, Keith, what's up? Tell us about yourself, man. What's up? Tell us about yourself. What does Mr. Shoulders do on a daily basis?
Man, right. So my 9 to 5 is a software engineer in a company called Hitachi Solutions. But I have a co-owner of a photography / videography company called Grace Media. Myself, my beautiful girlfriend, she has been a major help with that. So we've been enjoying that, working with different people, getting to know different people through photography and videography. But then ministry. I pastor at David's Temple Missionary Baptist Church in Tanner. That's kind of where I grew up. Spent my whole life in Tanner, except for like 4 years in Birmingham when I was at school. So I've been here, it feels like my whole life, and just the past couple of years have been great getting to know, different people, got to know you guys over the past year and spend time with you. And so I'm just excited to be on the show. I try to catch every episode. I've enjoyed the guests you guys have had and the insight, the conversation. So, for people who may not know you guys that have been listening to the podcast, it's so refreshing to listen to the podcast and then to hang out in person. And it's sort of the same thing, same type of conversation, same vibe. So it's real genuine. And I appreciate, the opportunity to be on the show.
That's appreciate it, man. That's crazy. I had hit somebody up like, hey, I need you on the podcast because I know you know about. I'm not gonna tell what they know about because people are like, oh, I know who's coming on. But they was like, yeah, I watched a couple of your episodes. So I think now it's surreal. We started in September. Now we're in a couple more days to February. So it's like we really did this. Like we started we started with a messed up green screen Facebook Live. Now we got, it's rolling, it's like really real. So it's real, man. I appreciate you, supporting throughout the months. I ain't gonna say years yet, but months, and just really being a big part. David's Temple and also Grace Media. We gotta say co-CEO because y'all win.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely look out for the woman, okay, for my sister.
Look, I gotta do this right. So Keith, I forgot to add your banner. So is your Facebook and Instagram? You got Instagram as well? You just got Facebook?
I do have Instagram. Yeah.
Is it just Keith Shoulders?
It's Keith Shoulders _
on Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's Instagram.
So I gotta get it right, for the 2021. Can't leave your banner off here. No, we appreciate. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so yeah, because he doing business where he should have did business before, but I'll let him slide. So I know that you said you are a full-time 9 to 5. You're also a pastor of a flock, and you do photography / videography, which I think is amazing. How do you balance it all?
Man, that's a question for the ages. I'm still trying to learn, what balance is. People use the word balance all the time, but what does balance look like? I think that's different for everybody. And for me, I'm still really trying to discover what balance really looks like, because I think when you're involved, especially in ministry, right, certain things in the heat of the moment could take precedence, and then you kind of have to react and respond because you're responsible for the souls of other people, and you want to be able to help them through whatever they're going through. You want to be with them, in their grief and bereavement. You want to be there to celebrate with them, graduations, birthdays, retirement party, all those things. So balance is such a tough idea to kind of wrap my mind around. Well, but the biggest thing for me has just been trying to be as routine as possible. And I know you guys know that, especially working with the podcast, prepping, doing everything, getting ready, and then you have your job, and then you try to parent, and then you're preparing for marriage and wedding. So you add all those things together, and the definition of balance is constantly changing. And I think the biggest thing is just trying to find some sort of routine to kind of get yourself in, so you kind of know on a typical day, on an average day, what that's going to look like. So for me, it's just every week kind of tweaking the formula, just kind of playing with, what I'm going to do on the daily, what I'm going to do on the weekly, and just living life from there.
Has being at home during COVID changed anything? Like, has it alleviated some of the I guess, pressures of having to go and be in different places?
Man, I'm gonna tell you. So the company I work for, I was remote anyway before COVID struck. And
so you were living life.
yeah, so, but you know,
You think he lived?
I'm living life now, baby. Hey, out of my job. Look.
Keep
okay.
it together.
Okay, you know what? I'm
Don't-
not even finna start.
Don't talk about how you live life.
We got pastor on here. And my job, my bad. I'm sorry. Look, I enjoy my job. I'm doing it while I'm at home. Amen. Hallelujah. Continue keeping my bad.
Too much info, okay?
that was the tough part though. Making that transition to working remotely was tough because, and I thought like when that happened, when I started working for Hitachi, I thought, okay, this is perfect. This is gonna give me some extra time. Like it's gonna keep me close to the church because my house is super close to the church. So this is gonna give me more flexibility, be able to do other stuff. And quickly kind of became overwhelmed because all of a sudden you feel like you've got to take on all this other stuff because you are at home, right? And so my calendar just kind of like expanded. Whereas if I'd been going to the office every day, it would have made it easier for me to say no, right? Because I'm like, no, I'm at work. I'm at work. I can't. So that was tough, and still trying to adjust to that has been difficult.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. Just thank God for working at home, like because I know I'll say some crazy stuff.
Yeah, you keep yours. We need to keep your work at home situation afloat. Okay?
Great insurance, but but yes, it's most definitely been a change. I think this is going to be longevity. Like I don't think it's going to change for a while. So if I'm understanding, you're still working at home, and that's not going to change for you at all.
No, as long as I'm with them, I'll be working from home.
You're a good man. This is a man of God. He even saying his job. I'm not gonna say my job on there.
Please don't. We ain't got time.
It's a man of God. But look, we're gonna most definitely get back to the interview. We gotta start with our exit 30. This has been on my mind too. We got Mr. Shoulders on here. We appreciate you, Mr. Co-CEO Grace Media. Mr. 9 to 5 at Hitachi. What's it called?
That's not what it's called.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, it is. Oh, my bad.
Women. It's called what, Keith?
Hitachi Solutions.
Hitachi Solutions, and also a pastor. Woo! A man of many works. Anyway,
he is really living. Let me just say before we get to exit 30, he is really vicariously living a little bit through you, right? Because he didn't always
because he's a man that actually he goes through the same thing. Like I'm gonna say this because I started preaching, right? Because
exactly that's the vicariously living through you, Keith. Okay,
I'm gonna say this because most people, 99% of people, they'll go to work, right, and they'll go watch TV, whatever. Keith is an example of what I'm doing every day, or as a man, not taking away from what you do, but as a man, because not only when he gets off work, he has to put his work computer down. He picks up his personal computer. He gets doing, the Grace Media. Then he got to take that hat off, and then he got to pick up his Bible to read his word to make sure he's preaching to his flock. So that's a man of many hats and characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I got on Keith as a child. So, but no, it's real. Like, I look up to him, and he ain't got to look up to me, Keith, but I look up to him because I'm like, okay, this is a person that's going through the same daily grind that I go to. Like little Scrappy said, the grussel. The grind and the hustle.
I cannot
every day. Like that's real. So that's why I think
Scrappy say that.
He said on Love and Hip Hop.
You ain't supposed to be watching secular stuff like that.
Look, I watched it 10 years ago before I accepted Christ. But no, he just goes through things I go through. So when he tired, I can see his facial expression. Like, dang, I'm not gonna cuss. I'm like, dang, I feel him because I'm going through that same stuff. Amen. All right, look, we're going to go to the Exit 30 segment. Look, I'm sorry, guys, but next episode, we're going to have our voiceover. But for now, you're going to have to accept me as your voiceover. This Exit 30 segment is brought to you by Hawt Wicks and Scents. Looking for a...
I'm sorry.
What?
Because when they hear the real one, they're going to be like, oh, you should have just not did that. But go ahead. I appreciate you.
Looking for a way to add a touch of luxury to your day? Shop Hawt Wicks and Scents for uplifting, nostalgic fragrances that are sure to please your senses. We encourage you to try and buy our scents and remember to stay hot. All right. So this was really on my heart, right? So Keith, I got something coming up. Well, this is the Exit 30 segment, but I got something coming up Monday. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm doing it every Monday. I like to motivate people, right? So I'm not going to talk about this on the Monday Minute, but I'm going to talk. Oh, it's called the Monday Minute, by the way. I already said it. But I thought about this, the sense of urgency, and everybody, y'all can chime in. I'm kind of revamping the Exit 30 segment, but
Go ahead.
to me, it's the sense of urgency because if you don't go get it, somebody else will. So while you sitting there and saying, oh, you know, you're looking through, oh, I like this idea, whether it's Keith, Antoinette, or me, or I'm going to do this in March, I'm going to do this in April or May, somebody's already did it, right? So once you have your idea, you have to have that sense of urgency to make sure it gets completed. Don't worry about what everybody else is thinking. Don't worry about, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do great or not. Guess what? When Elevate, when we first started, it wasn't great, right? You can see the little black behind the green screen. You know, the audio wasn't all that great, right? It was pixelated. It doesn't matter. But look where we're at now, right? Because we went with that sense of urgency. So I challenge each and everybody to make sure every day when you get up, you see an idea or you great at something, whether it's doing t-shirts, candles, taking pictures, being a pastor, flipping fries at McDonald's or Walmart, being a greeter, whatever it is, make sure you have that sense of urgency because if you don't do, somebody else will. And that's the message that I have for today.
Amen.
You got something to say?
Don't be so urgent that you jump off the cliff. That's all I gotta say.
So you want to talk about jumping? You're gonna have to jump one day.
Yeah, but you better make sure you prepared your parachute.
Yes, I agree that you have to prepare.
Okay.
So it's like I'm
okay.
talking to you because
Oh, yeah.
you
Listen.
look. This is a guilty speak. You like I'm talking to you because
No. Listen,
because you came like
please,
from
people
backwoods.
don't think, huh?
You came from somewhere where they were not.
No, I'm just saying, like I'm listening. Of course, you have a sense of urgency about yourself as far as
Absolutely.
execution, but you don't want to just be like, oh, I got this idea and don't think it through.
I agree.
And prepare.
Research it.
And yes.
But sometimes I believe
Develop
that people,
the idea.
right? But sometimes people in general will research for 10 years.
Now,
after 10 years, we've moved on to something else.
yeah,
So you have to.
okay.
So when I say
I get
you see what I'm saying?
you,
So when I say
you.
I'm not saying tomorrow, but how long do we talk about podcasts? We talked about podcasts for 2.5 years.
No, we didn't.
No, we was in the car going to Nashville. We talked about Exit 30. It was about 2.5 years, right?
Okay.
Now podcasting is a multi-billion-dollar business, right?
Yeah, we should have jumped on it back then. I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's a now we're monetizing it and all those things, right? But if we kept thinking about it, we wouldn't be here right now talking to Keith. And look, we got new cameras, new mics. We in the same studio. We got the Roadcaster, right? If we didn't use that sense of urgency, we wouldn't be here where we're at now. We'll still be on our laptop and our phone looking at somebody else's Instagram and like, oh man, that's a great idea.
I got you. I'm on board.
The reason I say that, I'm sorry, see, I got me preaching. Look, the reason I say that because people say, oh, I didn't have 4 phone calls this week, and the first thing they say, hey man, can you help me with my podcast? You see what I'm saying? If you don't have that sense of urgency, those people that are calling you are going to take over, and you like, dang, I should have done that.
Good point.
That's why you have to have that sense of urgency, because people, you never know who's looking at you, right? They can look at Keith, oh man, I want to take pictures. They wouldn't even think about taking pictures until Keith started doing it. That's why you have to have that sense of urgency. You want to get started on how many people? Or we want to move on?
You can move on. Keep chime in
okay.
any moment. Give me a break any moment.
I'm sorry. It's about Keith, but look, that's the message. Look, sometimes I get a little deep. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Keith. What's your thing about sense of urgency so we can go in and go back to Pastor Shoulder?
No, I agree with you, Sam, man. Time is a terrible thing to waste. And so if you don't take advantage of the opportunity while it's there, while you can, you'll miss out and you'll be regretting, not taking advantage and not jumping on board when you could have, because you learn, and even with photography, whatever, there's a learning curve involved with everything. So the longer you wait, the more that learning curve grows, because the platform is going to grow, the technology is going to grow, and you're going to have to start from ground zero and play and spend so much time just catching up, right? Just catching up. And so I say, if you have a halfway decent idea, take some time, jump on it. If it fails, so what? You know what I mean? You're probably going to learn something in the process that may help you down the road in a future endeavor. And I've just always been the type of person, if I have an interest in something, or if I feel like I may, be able to do it, I'll try it. I'm not afraid to try it, see where it goes. If it doesn't take off, nothing lost. So I think that we need to encourage people to have that sense of urgency to really just, don't be afraid to take the leap.
I agree. Before we move on,
I want to be so petty, but I want to be petty. Not about what you just said.
It don't matter. Be petty. Look.
5
you
years
came to
ain't
me.
urgent.
You excuse you, but you got the ring though. But look, you told me.
No,
you said, man, it's been a year since Kobe died. Yeah.
It's
been a year. Kobe died a year ago. Yes.
It don't even seem like it's been.
Nipsey died 2 years ago in March. That's why you have a sense of urgency. ET said it best. We've upgraded our phones, but we haven't upgraded our values. Mm-hmm. So I challenge you. I challenge each and every one of you. Make sure every day when you get up, and some days, look, especially in January, it's cold. I don't even want to get up. You have to have that sense of urgency. All right, and that's the message. All right, look, we're going to get back. I done stole the show. Look, everybody like, oh, them two, I love them. But anyway, look, we appreciate Mr. Show. We're going to get back to the show. But Keith, like I said, I really, want to get into the church. I most definitely have been rebellious. We're going to talk about that. So what message do you have for people that's really trying to get back? They're like borderline. They either don't want to, go back to church, something they experienced, or they do want to go. And, they just haven't found that direction. Like, what kind of advice or message do you give to people in those kind of situations?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost, let's think about your motivation for wanting to get back into church. And we got to make sure that it's personal. We got to make sure it's centered around the same thing, because I spent a lot of time in the church. I did also spend some time away from the church, went to college and wasn't a regular attendant at church and all those things. And even it was a short while, but it was long enough to kind of show me some of the emotions and thoughts that people have when they kind of become detached from the church. Because for a lot of people, we've grown up in the church, and even when you kind of get distant from it, you don't ever really lose that in the back of your mind saying, I need to go to church. I need to go to church. And as you grow and life starts to come at you, you start to sense that need even more, because it's like, man, I got a lot of stuff I'm dealing with. I just need to figure out how I'm going to navigate all this. I need something, right, that's going to kind of help me keep my head, stay encouraged, whatever it is. So just understanding what your true motivation is, because what you cannot do is look at the church itself, the building or the people, as a place that's going to be drastically different from some of the things or people you experience in the world, because some of the same flawed human beings that you deal with on a daily basis belong to the church. And that's by design, right? The church is made for flawed people. The church is full of flawed people because we're all flawed. So I think having those realistic expectations and understanding that, I'm going to have to come to the church. First of all, the church has to deal with people with a level of grace to understand we've got to accept people. We got to meet them where they are. We've got to be understanding and compassionate and understand where they are. But at the same time, people who want to come into the church also need to have some grace and say, you know what? They are Christians. They do go to church, but I can't expect them to be perfect. And so I think just having those expectations and understanding what their motivation is like the first conversation we would have.
Well, what's crazy? And I don't know if you're going to comment or not. Sometime, I'm not going to say now, right? Because when I first came, to Alabama, but Huntsville, I went to church, right? I went to a certain church that gave, fried chicken. It was, look.
Do not.
But,
okay.
But, sometimes I think in my past, right? Either, a church I grew up in or, just like churches I visit, I think sometimes like people feel judgment, they feel like they're being judged. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I think like that's something that I, personally, I can share my personal experience that I feel like, I'm not gonna say when I've been up here, but when I grew up at, sometimes I felt like I was judged as an individual, trying to like cross over now. And now that I have a family, right? Mm-hmm. It's different for me. Like I want to get my, have a church home for me, my fiance, and my daughter. So that's something I struggled in the past, but that's something I'm looking forward to as far as getting back into the church, as far as not only, like you said, the church is like, I've always learned, especially me and Toni talking, the church is a place of worship, right? We are the church, right? And so I'm trying to change that mindset as far as making sure that I'm going for me and my family, going for me and not for others. You see what I'm saying? So I guess, like, how do you cross over that? Like, what kind of advice do you give towards that?
I think for somebody who's struggling with that fear of being judged and really trying to wrap their mind around the whole idea of having this personal connection, going into this church, the personal motivation going into the church, I think you just have to stay focused on God, literally. You know what I mean? Because if you really can take some time to prepare yourself going in and just think about, on a personal level, everything that he's done for you, or what you're seeking in terms of your relationship with him, I think when you get in the sanctuary, it'll kind of help you stay focused on that, and kind of help you block out some of the, the white noise and, the stares or the whispers or whatever it is, because, this is about you and him.
I agree.
Because, when it's all said and done, none of those people will be able to stand and answer for you. It's something that you're going to have to deal with on your own anyway. So it's got to be deeply personal.
Mine is a little different, right?
I want to hear this, because I ain't never heard this.
Really?
Go ahead, babe. I love you.
You have heard it, just probably not in this way. Okay, so of course, I grew up in the church. Baptized as a little girl, all of these things, whatever. And I was really, really, and I still am a real spiritual person. But as I got older, and I guess you kind of put it in a way that I never really heard, is that, of course, the outside world influences what the people in church, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you have all walks of life. But it's like I looked up to so many people, and then as I got older, I realized, oh my God, they have, their little things, mm-hmm. that is really flaws, right? Yeah. But you kind of like, I ain't gonna say, I guess they were like mentors or people you look up to or whatever, and then you realize, oh my God, like the things that they're telling me to do is not how they live necessarily, right? And so I know, just personally me, I just like shied away, because I was like, oh, I can live like this by myself, Right. But as I have gotten older, I realized that you still, of course, like you said, it's still within you. You have to have your own relationship with God outside of church. And that's so important. But it's also equally as important to have some people to fellowship with that is on the same walk of life that you are, or have the same goal in mind, which is ultimately being a good servant. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you're trying to check me. But I understand. But don't. I ain't gonna go.
No. Because you was about to name names.
I wasn't gonna name no names. I was gonna say a certain place.
Yeah, but it's too close to home.
Okay.
You ain't about to get me wrapped up in that.
Man,
okay.
Look,
okay.
we all gonna be. Okay. Look at Keith, he lying in there.
I know, like, don't chime in.
I gotta keep my memories. No, I got you.
No, but I think it's just special. Like, I know, just personally, of course, with COVID happening, it's a little different how we go into worship. But so, like, I listen to you, and then I listen to other people, whatever. So I really, prior to COVID, I was like, of course, we need to find a church home.
Yeah. I agree.
And I had started just like listening to different people, because of course technology has advanced to where you don't have to step into the church to see if you're going to like somebody as far as like their teachings and how you're going to go. So you can listen to different people, not in the actual moment, but you can just gather, different sermons from different people.
Yeah, I will say, like, before COVID, I was listening here and there, but now I will say this, Keith, I ain't trying to boost your head because you're on our show, but no, serious. I'm gonna be honest, like, you are the first pastor or minister, I don't know all the definitions, bishop, all that, but like, I felt that comfort, right? Because we hang out in person, like, we, outside of Elevate, we hang out, right? And you've been this genuine, kind person that's, I think we have around the same age group, right? I'm younger than you. How old are you?
No, you older. You're way older than him.
I'm 29. He older than me.
Yeah, you knocking on 40.
But no, we experienced that same walk, so it's good to have that same experience, right, with somebody that's on the same journey. I think that's the biggest thing that I think that we cling together, because we're on that same walk. We're both trying to elevate. So I do commend you, and we're most definitely, we listen to you on Sundays. So keep it up, man. We appreciate it. I do have one question though. I seen this. I'll put it on the YouTube page, right?
Yeah.
I do want to ask you about it. I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna ask you a question about it.
All right.
Dimension in which we must remove ourselves from the clutter. You know, elevation does require separation.
First of all, where my money at? You use my saying. But now, like, where that come from? Like, was that you just in the spirit, or like, what kind of message do you? I don't know if you remember the sermon. Like how tell me about that.
I remember. I can't remember exactly where I was coming from. I can't remember exactly. I'm trying to recall it, but that was one of them things, man. Like I said, I listen to you guys. And when you hear stuff over and over, sometimes subconsciously it sort of just comes out, and it was just perfect in that moment for the point I was making. It was very fitting. So elevation requires separation. That is definitely true, and it is applicable in so many areas of life. And I wish I could recall where I was preaching from, and I could give you a better explanation.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks ago. I was listening to it and I said,
look. I said, I got a screenshot, I gotta take a picture, I gotta record the video so I can post it on the page. So that's dope, man. Like that I ain't gonna lie, that was like, golly, we made it.
It's a full circle moment.
I said, man, we got a pastor shouting out our stuff. That was dope, you know.
Yeah. And I guess I was just, focused at that moment. I should have shouted out Elevate by SJC. I should have.
We had $1 million, boy. Go ahead.
Typically, I would. If it had been in my manuscript, I would have been more aware. I would have been prepared. I would have said it. But that kind of came in the moment. So
yeah, it was genuine, man. Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody subscribe to our page. I'll watch you. No, just playing. But it was dope. I was like, okay, because Antoinette showed me. I was like, okay. I would, I listened to you, but when I seen it, I said, dang, okay, we there. We made it. It was pretty cool, man. It was pretty cool. But when did you get started? How long you been a pastor? Like, what's your official title? Like, I never really asked you that. So what's your official title? Like, I got a 3-part question. What's your official title? How did you become a pastor, and how long have you been a pastor?
I mean, most people will say pastor because I pastor at Davis Temple. If not pastor, they'll say minister or reverend. It doesn't matter to me. I really don't care about the title. But see, in March, it'll make 2 years that I've been at Davis Temple. And so I've been pastoring 2 years because I've only been at Davis Temple. I've been preaching since I accepted the call to preach in 2016. So we're coming up on 5 years on that, and it'll be Labor Day. We'll mark 5 years preaching. So it was just, man, it was really just a God thing, just really following what the Lord wanted me to do kind of led me at Davis Temple to become pastoring people. So how people talk about, getting saved. Older people talk about the mourner's bench and they had this spiritual moment. And a lot of people talk about, accepting the call to preach, how they were running from something. They know what it was. And, and then you hear people tell stories about like how they had a moment like Paul in Damascus, like they were maybe living in sin, they were doing something, whatever. And then it's just like all of a sudden God just changed them. Really spiritually, that's never been my story. Like things for me have always just slowly evolved. Like as life went on, matured, you kind of started to feel for what God was calling you to do or what, you should be doing. And living, that was one of the benefits of being back in the community where I grew up. It gave me the opportunity to have people who had known me from a young age to kind of be there to kind of affirm and, to kind of give confirmation on things and to encourage. So it was helpful. So I think, looking full circle, God used all of those things. He used the community. He used the people who raised me, who helped make me who I am. He used the church that I grew up. He used all those things to kind of slowly point me in the direction he wanted me to go. So it was just a matter of just being willing to go.
I think I asked you this before.
Hold on.
Excuse me, offline.
I think it's time for me to go ahead and be a pastor. I used to want to be one.
I can't even like.
Yeah, for real. No, my granddaddy was a pastor. Like, my granddad was a pastor of a church.
That ain't your ministry. What's our?
Hold on, I'm not gonna close. I'm not because this is Keith show, but look, for real,
I was about to ask him a serious.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I cannot with you. Okay,
go ahead. We're gonna come back to me being a pastor, and then we gonna go. Go ahead.
I was going to. I think I asked you though. You just made me like completely lose how I was going to ask the question. Podcast, I know it don't matter. But did you have people in your family previously that were preachers? I guess I'll say that so to cover everything. And if not, did you have a particular mentor when you accepted your calling or still going on? I guess.
My grandfather on my mom's side was a preacher. And legend has it that his dad was a preacher, but I didn't know my great granddad. So, and I didn't find that out until after I started preaching. But as far as mentors, man, listen, I consider everybody a mentor. I consider every relationship in my life as an opportunity to have a mentor. You know, whether it's with you guys and kind of watching, you know, how you run Pretty Perfect Printing and Hawt Wicks and Scents and watching Elevate by SJC. Like, I try to take every opportunity in life to learn something from people. So I really just kind of, you know, started clinging to people who were already in the ministry, whether they be close to my age or older, and just really make myself like a sponge and try to learn from them. That's really, you know, has been the saving grace, is just having people around you that have been there and done it that you can learn from.
He got that pastor voice too, don't he?
He does. He does. You have a commanding presence.
Yeah. He got that real that pastor voice.
I know, it's like sit up straight.
And and I'll tell you what's so crazy. I never would have ever like guessed that I would be preaching. I'm at 12 years old. We did a play at my home church at Little Zion. And, you know, when you get 12, 13, no, I was probably 13 or 14. When you get, when you become a teenager, you kind of too cool to do stuff in the church. Like, you don't want to be doing.
Oh yeah, of course.
So they set it up to where basically we would be lip syncing, like somebody else. They had bought these recordings for the play. So like they had, you know, a voiceover, somebody actually saying the words, and we would just be up on stage one at a time, like acting it out. Man, when I tell you, like, that was one of the most embarrassing moments ever for me in the church, because I was like almost in tears, because I'm 13 or 14, almost in tears, because I'm having to stand up in the pulpit where people usually preach, all that was gone, in front of all these people looking at me. Like, I was the most, I still am, like, I'm shy, I'm reserved. What? But then I was the most shy human being ever. And like, it almost killed me to have to stand up in front of all those people. So
and now you can get up there.
Now you got your own flock.
Look.
It's crazy.
What's up? Elevate, baby.
Elevation.
We appreciate you, Keith. We appreciate you, like I said, coming part of the show. What?
Nothing.
We're gonna do our own podcast, me and you, about relationships, how women. Keith, we need counseling, but look, we're gonna go to our one of our last segments of the day, brought to you by ElevateBySJC.com. Store launching February the 1st. Make sure you shop your latest gear, face masks, hoodies, t-shirts, whatever you see on screen. So please go stop by ElevateBySJC.com and make sure you remember elevation requires separation. We're gonna get into my favorite segment. Say it with your chest. Now, Keith, we know reserved pastor demeanor, you know. I don't know how you're gonna be petty, but you can say something that's on your mind, be petty, or something, or someone that made you mad. Toni, go on, kick us off. You told me the other day about that little scenario.
What did I say?
About a little car.
Oh God, no, that's really. I just hate when people don't drive. Oh, I guess I can say that because I really don't have anything. Life has been really good this last month or whatever since they see me. Anyway, yeah, I hate when people can't drive. Oh my God, I hate when people can't drive. So I had an incident the other day where I was doing a U-turn, but I had the light to do the U-turn, and the other car did not. Anyway, they almost hit me, and luckily Kirsten wasn't in the car with me or whatever, but I slammed on my brakes, and then I did something so ungodly and kept it going. So that's my
look, he said we got the pastor on here, so we can't even go into detail.
Listen, if you give me your energy, I'm giving you the same energy. All 2021, I'm matching energy. So I matched the energy in my car, and I kept going. And I was like, oh my God, I hope that they don't follow me.
Trying to act hard, boy. Trying to act hard.
I know. I came back to reality real fast.
She acting hard. I'm gonna be at the house like, I don't even know nothing about it.
Now listen, I came back to reality real
she
fast.
She my fiance, but I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Let me act right.
Key, what about you? Like, something somebody made you mad or Eddie? What's on your mind?
When 2021 came, I made it my personal mission to like try to put a stop to the preacher memes and let's focus on the deacons.
I see you
we always talk about because everybody's looking at the pulpit, so they're used to looking at the. But if you were sitting in the pulpit and you were to just see some of the stuff that the deacons do, like I remember one time, God bless us. I mean, he's just such a sincere human being. But I was teaching Bible study, and he was trying his hardest not to fall asleep on me.
They always fall asleep.
And I just wanted to tell him, I wanted to tell him, man, listen, if you had a hard day at work, I understand. I'm not offended. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But we need some deacon memes in 2021.
Listen, I just growing up in the church back like in the 90s and stuff like that, like guaranteed it was a deacon up there knocked out
all the time.
It was a deacon jumping pews
all the time. I'm gonna find one and I'm gonna send it to you. Let me see what I got. Okay, let me see. What you have to say?
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear. You have many petty moments, so don't act like you gotta reach right.
Hold on. I got one. Give me like 3 seconds. Hold on. You know what makes me mad? I'm not makes me mad. It's just funny, right? And I'm not gonna mention nobody's names, but the guilty speak, right? When people always think, no, the boy that cried wolf or the girl that cried wolf, right?
You are the pettiest of petty. Okay,
so let me tell you,
you're so petty.
That's why it's called saying with your chest. Look, only the other day I forgot what it was. She said an ungodly word, amen. And she said something, but I forgot what was the situation. It wasn't even. She said, "Oh, it ain't that bad. I forgot to do something, right? Just like being extra, just being loud for no reason."
I looked at my phone. I realized something, and I said a bad word, but it was really loud. Yeah, and then he was like, "What's going on?" Right? Like, that was the reaction.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, nothing. Just I'm really extra, right?" So last night I had jumped under bed and I hit my kneecap on the back of her knee, and she just, "Oh my God, that really hurt." I'm like, you should be all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always screaming like on petty stuff. Now you would be serious with you. I said, baby, you'll be all right.
You really hurt me.
And Keith, I said, oh, you'll be all right, baby.
I was in there in pain, throbbing and everything. All your pressure of everything in your body came down on my knee. On the knee that I had surgery with. It don't matter how many years ago I had surgery on it.
Had that surgery 22 years ago to the day.
It don't matter.
I can tell 25 years ago.
It don't matter. It still hurts. It still hurts.
I thought you had surgery like 4-5 years ago. No, I had surgery 28 years ago.
Listen,
it still hurt.
It still hurt. Yes, it still hurt.
The girl that cried, look, always.
I can tell you give her a hard time by having that surgery so long ago, because as soon as she said it, she said, "It don't matter how long ago I had it."
No. I ain't not paying attention to that. Like she made everything big. So when there's a real moment, I don't know how to take it because I'm like, bro, you screaming everything. Oh my God! I forgot to check the mailbox. Oh my God! My gas tank was on half, like stuff like that. So something really couldn't happen. I'm like, oh, okay, you should be all right because you're always going in. Yeah. But yeah, baby, your surgery.
Just say you excited to have me in your
life. I love you, baby. But your surgery was 31 years ago. Amen.
I'm not even nearly that old. So hey.
How old are you? Okay. Anyway, so. 20. All right, so say it with your chest. I think that's it though. But always the girl that cried wolf. Like, make sure you know when you use your moment of, when you escalate your voice.
I know when.
When?
If I escalate my voice on this right now, you would be muted.
Mute.
I know.
Look, just muted her. Woo, just muted her. Anyway, but look, we're gonna switch over from the pastor to the photography. Grace Media. Mm-hmm. So how do you get started with being a photographer? Like, pastor, are you taking pictures during the sermon? Like how did that come about? Grace. I like the word grace. Grace. I love that. What's the definition behind it? And how did you get started?
So when I graduated college, like I just, you know, kind of got interested in photography. So I started dabbling around with it. That was probably 2013. And, you know, I had a camera, played with it for a while, put it down, play with it for a while. And then, you know, as YouTube became a thing and you start seeing people like doing more video curation and all this. So I was like, you know what, I really want to just, I like the whole creative process, you know. Obviously communicating is a thing that I enjoy. So writing is a big thing. I had a blog and I said, you know, photography, videography is another way to, you know, communicate, tell a story, communicate a message. So I wanted to do that. And, you know, it just kind of scratches that creative itch for me, you know, to be able to have an idea and then put it together, you know, and all of the sort of the technical things that are involved in making something that's, you know, that's nice. I think each project or each picture is an investment. Like it's a project. You want to perfect it. You want to produce something that's really, really, really high quality. And I'm an obsessive tweaker. Like when it's cooked, whatever it is, like it's never good enough. Like I always want to just tweak it just a little bit. And so, you know, photography, videography lets me do that. So, but I wanted something that had like kind of a spiritual feel to it, because originally a year ago, before, so I started LLC almost a year ago. So it was actually before COVID hit. One of my plans was like, you know what, it's time for churches to kind of take that next step when it comes to media and technology, all those things.
So you
and
can
I want to consult and kind of help, you know, guide and direct, because I spend all this time YouTubing and Googling stuff, figuring out what works, how people produce, you know, this certain look, da 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 da. And I just thought it would be so cool to be able to help churches whenever they got ready to take that next step, you know, and really upgrade their presence online and with videos and all those things. So that's kind of really what motivated. There was an intersection there between a passion I had and my vocation as a pastor. So that's really what happened.
That's pretty dope, man. Like I appreciate, you know, the videos you've done for us. As I'm not sure if everybody knows, but Keith was part of the surprise of the engagement with Toni. Was pretty funny. Like there was people walking behind her with the balloons. I'm like, where y'all going? She gonna see y'all. We had to stall her. What, about an hour?
Yeah.
Oh man, and you know we did our thing. Her feet hurting. I'm like, oh no, please, we ain't got time for this right now.
It almost got.
You got almost real,
my
didn't
feet were hurting, and I was no.
Keith did a great job. Got the drone. That's pretty dope, man. But like Toni said, like that's not everybody's ministry. Like all the stuff you was doing last week, like you know, we did me walking down. It's coming soon, guys. But walking down the little pathway, I'm like, Keith, great, because I ain't got time for this. I'm like, look, I'm about to tell you, look, wrap it up. I ain't got time, but nah, for real, like I see you coming along. And I love the video. Like, you know, the thing about if people don't change, you get left behind. That's like my favorite quote, something I made myself. I'm not sure if I stole it from someone.
You definitely stole it from
doesn't matter though. I made it anyway. But you know how to drone, like a lot of people's not doing that, right? So you do have to change. And like you said, just how long has Grace Media been around?
So Grace Media LLC has it turned a year old this month in January.
Okay, see, a year and you're already changing with the time, so that's good. You know, great that you're
evolving.
Evolving, elevating.
Elevating. Sorry.
I don't see no evolving on this screen. Elevating.
You're not with you. Okay.
So so you do videography, right, with Grace Media? Like, does Grace Media take over like the videography or like the live streaming of your sermons on Sundays, or that's?
Nah, that's completely within the church. So especially at where I serve, right? I think there'll be a conflict of interest there if I tried to inject.
Ooh, that's when they go to your church. Y'all hear this, man? He said where I serve, not the church that I'm over. Where I serve. And he said a conflict of interest. This man has great integrity. Hey, man, you get all my time.
Look at the camera. Tell it to the camera.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I already
Y'all
know.
Hear this man said where I serve. I better go to
Davis Temple.
Davis Temple, baby.
Come on.
Go ahead, baby. It's your turn. Go ahead. I know you got.
No, I'm just admiring y'all's bromance. I'm gonna say
Are you jealous though?
A little bit. The only reason I'm jealous is, and I'm gonna already say because y'all know I ride. Okay, so the only reason I'm jealous is I feel like
Wow. Go ahead and say it.
A cameo should have been made, but I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all have y'all.
I did text her and she was shopping or something. So
don't we put her on blast if she's shopping?
I'm just saying, I just wanted to know that we were thinking about her. And
yes.
If anybody
I said it at the very beginning, but
if anybody want to know, she was on episode 3 or 4 or 5, one of those teachers. She
I think
had
it's
her
like
time.
episode 3 or 4.
She didn't have her time. Let this man shine.
I am. That's why I didn't say any names.
It's really my time. Like, I can move this camera. Me and my man can elevate the camera.
I mean, do what you do, but guess what? Everybody's gonna. I'm gonna make sure everybody
you make the show, baby.
I'm gonna make sure everybody do it if you want to. I'm gonna make sure everybody spams your inbox, emails. I'm gonna do a whole campaign. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so Keith, but anyway, before we wrap up, like what's next for Pastor Shoulders and what's next for Grace Media?
I think from a ministry standpoint, one of the things that we have been actively doing is trying to, we recently made some upgrades. We did make some upgrades at the church as far as like our AV stuff. So trying to leverage some of that technology to communicate better to the members of Davis Temple and to the community that, partners with us, whether, they just worship with us on Sunday with the virtual worship or just want to help us in whatever we're doing in the community, leveraging that to communicate with people, to kind of pull people together, to serve, to do all those things, get everybody on the same page. So that's from a ministry perspective. And then as far as Grace Media is concerned, just to continue learning, like I'm working on you guys' video. And so I'm still doing some editing, but photo is one thing, like after a while, because I've been doing it longer, right? Since 2013, kind of been taking pictures and learning. Video though has really in the past 2 or 3 years,
it's gone to different levels.
It has evolved. Yeah, it has gone to a whole new level. So trying to sharpen all those skills and have all those tools, in my belt is one of the things that I really want to give some focus to this year, so that, like you said, I mean, you're either leading or you're following. And what separates a leader from a follower is somebody who's willing to put in the time and to really, grasp those skills. That's how you become an influencer. You see so many people, starting YouTube channels. They have Facebook pages, Instagram pages, TikToks, and they want to be an influencer.
Right.
You can't influence people if you don't have anything that people want. People will pay to have what you have or to know what you know.
And people love seeing you too. You know what I'm saying? Like I told Tony when we first started this, like people love seeing what you're doing.
Yeah.
They love it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure why, I guess it's with all the what you call those reality shows. They,
I'll see what's happening.
Yeah, they like the ratings are so high because people love other people's business.
Watching people.
Yeah, they do. They like, watching us. So, but that's real, man. That videography is dope. Yeah, we're most definitely gonna continue.
I can't wait to see the things. What?
Yo, weddings and all that and engagements are all about women. I learned that the hard way on the 13th of December of 2020. It's all about women.
This is not true, but I'll save it for our podcast with the Q&A. That's definitely not true.
It's all about women. But now, what you gonna say, baby?
Nothing.
I'm gonna keep like, golly.
Our back and forth is hilarious to me.
My mama calling me, but Keith, like I said, I it's crazy. I know what I'm gonna say now. We had a guy on one of the episodes, Mixed by 25, right? He does audio, video, all that in Birmingham area. So it's just crazy that all this is intertwining, right? And I want people to see this so they know who to go to. Hey, I can just go on ElevateBySJC and see, the media guy that's in Birmingham, or, the videography and the photographer that's in, Huntsville, Grace Media, and the pastor of Davis Temple. So it's crazy how all this stuff intertwined. Or if I need candles, I can go to Hawt Wicks. If I need a little motivation, go to, Mr. Keith, or I can go to, SJC. If I need a shirt, man, I can go to Toni. So it's just crazy how all this intertwined. And that was like the overall goal, of just build this overall community of people that's showing that, how did
entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship.
Yeah, entrepreneurship and entrepreneur. Yeah, Sierra off of My Boss Circle. That's what she does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like crazy how all this stuff intertwining. So it's just crazy how big this has grown and how more it's going to grow. So it's just crazy. And I'm just glad that we are actually, you know, doing something for ourselves and for the community and for our family.
Yeah.
My brother right there going through the same journey.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
just glad to be a part of it, man.
Appreciate you. You know, I know you. Hey, we appreciate your internet connection, man. It didn't go out.
I know. Hold on, Keith. You are the what do you say? The perfect example of a good background. And I mean, of course, you're the
background dope.
Of course, you're the media
You sure
person,
you're a
right?
pastor, darling? That background dope, man.
No, but like everything, like the ambiance and everything, like when we tell people from now on what your background should look like and how you should look in camera is definitely going to
like
be.
you're the
measure. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the example. You're the example. Because I like, the light. Look, you say you learn from us. I'm learning from you. So
look, he got to have backlights all up under Kobe and Gian.
You see them light? I got some over there. That little lava lamp. So you see a lava lamp? I got it from Keith.
Listen,
I'm most definitely gonna steal.
I know you are.
The back, a dark episode. Whoa, we gonna rock, boy. But Keith, how can you reach, man? Like I know we talked about it, but we'd like to hear from the man himself. So how can you be reached?
Yeah, Keith Shoulders on Facebook, Instagram, Keith Shoulders _. TikTok, I don't remember what my TikTok handle is. I'm still trying to wrap my mind.
hold on. I can.
The other day.
So,
hold on. We want to get your TikTok.
Yeah, I think Kalisa has sent it to. What about your what about Grace Media? Do Grace Media have any social handles?
Yeah, Facebook.com/Grace Media. Media spelled with a 3 though, M3dia.
Okay, and I most definitely include it in the notes too, so everybody know where to go to. Grace Media, y'all, please go see them. Great.
Your TikTok is at Pastor_Keith.
That's right.
So I gotta make sure I put this all in notes. TikTok. So are you gonna be an avid TikToker now?
I'm gonna give it a try. I think there's a space for people like me on TikTok. Maybe we'll see.
I gotta get into it.
Yeah,
I don't have a TikTok, but I told Cole that I was gonna get a TikTok after she sent me yours, so I can get on there.
Look, I'm emailing myself lava lamp. Back light. But no, we appreciate you being part of the show, man. I know, Keith, I'm not sure, if we went over it, but you probably seen the show, so you probably know how the show is going to end. We always together we'll say require separation, but I'll say elevation, and you and Toni and me will say require separation. But before we end, guys, make sure you reach out to all my social handles: ElevateBySJC, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. I got TikTok, but it's not on the Elevate. And also visit ElevateBySJC.com for the latest gear and face masks, hoodies, t-shirts, and all. Toni, how can you be reached?
I can be reached at Miss Hawt _1 on Instagram, and at Hawt Wicks on Instagram, and Hawt Wicks and Scents on Facebook.
Cool. All right, guys. We appreciate you guys. And before we end, how I love to end. I just want to make sure everybody knows that elevation
requires
separate. Look, we're gonna do it right. I'm gonna say elevation, and then requires.
You're supposed to say, actually, you were a little rusty, so
okay.
It's actually supposed to you're supposed to say elevation requires, and me and Keith are supposed to say separation.
Okay, that's right. Y'all ready? On 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Elevation requires
separation.
We out, guys. Peace.